You are stronger than you know. Your worth is not earned. Your light is not something you work for. It just merely needs to be revealed. This is a quote from my book, Empath's Guide to Rising Strong. This is the book all about spirituality and human design. And I wanted to share with you the story of the descent of Goddess Inanna. I was talking with a friend the other day, and she was sharing with me about her daughter's names, and she had mentioned Persephone, and I lit up. I said, I know Persephone. I don't exactly recall in my research for this book which goddess. I feel it's the Greek goddess Persephone. Please correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's from Greek mythology, Persephone, and she signifies the changes of the seasons. And I thought, oh, this is the same goddess from ancient Mesopotamia, Goddess Inanna. She also is the originator of the goddess of the seasons. She's the goddess of heaven and earth. And it's the same one, just more ancient. And so I was like, I'm going to make an episode for you so you can listen to Goddess Inanna because she loved Persephone. I was like, well, if you love Persephone, you're going to love Inanna because she's the same one. She's just from a different ancient culture. So here we go. We're going to dive deep into the descent of the sun goddess Inanna. Welcome to the Empaths Beyond Trauma podcast. I am your host, Tiffany Nguyen, where we are guiding you through transforming your life into power and away from the past of hurt and abuse, to step into your power and to live a life fulfilled and full of joy. This podcast is for entertainment purposes only and educational in nature. Please contact a professional if you are experiencing any thoughts of depression, suicide, or anxiety. You can call 988, or if you have a little moment to research and find a professional therapist at betterhelp.com/empath. All right, so today is just a treat. I'm just going to read to you from my book because I have the whole myth of Goddess Inanna's descent into the underworld in my book, Empath's Guide to Rising Strong. And this is a human design guidebook for self-discovery, and it's written by me, Raven Scott. Yes, I am Tiffany Nguyen, but my pen name is Raven Scott. The beauty of mythology and culture's ability to tell a story is that it paints a powerful picture of symbolism for us to understand cosmic concepts. Humankind has been telling stories since they could build a fire. Imagine them sitting around and sharing the teachings through myths for the future generations' growth and survival. A beautiful story that relates to the energy that we are encountering as light beings, aka empaths, is of the ancient Mesopotamia goddess Inanna. In ancient Mesopotamia mythology, Inanna was known as the Queen of Heaven. She was the goddess of love, war, and fertility. She was worshipped in Sumer at least as early as the Uruk period, 4000 BCE to 3100 BCE. She is famously known for the myth of her descent into the underworld, ruled by her older sister, Ereshkigal. Before her descent, she informed her guard to come for her if she did not return in 3 days. This preparation of the guard symbolizes that we cannot do shadow work alone. Shadow work, I just wanted to find that for you, is when we dive deep into the uncomfortable, dark shadows of the unknown, of maybe our ego or our character flaws or trauma. So we can't do shadow work alone. No, thank you. I do not recommend. And we must call in a friend, a coach, a psychologist, or a spirit guide to aid us in this uncomfortable journey. You never have to do this alone. As she prepares for her descent, she dresses elaborately. She wears a turban, wig, lapis lazuli necklace, beads upon her breast, the pala dress, which is the ladyship garment, mascara, a pectoral, a golden ring, and she holds a lapis lazuli measuring rod. Each garment is a representation of a powerful, quote-unquote, me she possesses. So it possesses just every little piece of her identity. The ancient rule is those who come to the underworld are not allowed to leave. but she is braved forward with hopes to defy that law anyway. And she has her insurance policy with uh, her guide coming to find her if she doesn't return in 3 days. When she arrived, she banged on the gate. The gatekeeper asked, "Why have you come?" She answered, "I have come to attend the funeral of Gugalana, the first husband of her sister Ereshkigal, the queen of the underworld." The gatekeeper reports this to Ereshkigal. She tells him to bolt the 7 gates of the underworld. Then, one by one, open each gate a crack and let Inanna enter. And as she enters, remove her royal garments. Ereshkigal is suspicious of her sister's fine clothing, which is unacceptable for your funeral, and her arrogant behavior. This reminds me of that slow transition into the depth of a narcissist's web. The guard tells Inanna she may enter, but must give over her lapis lazuli measuring rod. She pauses and questions, but as she says, quote, "It is the way of the underworld," end quote, and she hands it over. Inanna passes through 7 gates, at each gate handing over an article of her fine clothing, stripping her of her me and her power. The symbolism is that each layer of clothing is a layer of your ego. When all is stripped away, you are naked, open, and ready for healing. If you are experiencing fear, anxiety, and confusion in your relationship constantly, then I highly recommend speaking to a professional. I've been there, and when I left the narcissist, I found talk therapy to be extremely beneficial, and this is why I chose BetterHelp as a sponsor. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp, who offers licensed therapists who are trained to allow you to talk to your therapist in the privacy of your own home, in an online environment at your convenience. Finding a therapist is easy. Just fill out the questionnaire to help assess your specific needs. Then you get matched with a therapist in 48 hours. Everything you share is completely confidential in therapy. Join the 3 million plus people who have taken the charge of their mental health and found freedom from the narcissist with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/empath. That's /EMPATH. The link is in the show notes. When Inanna reaches her sister, she is naked. And then, holding on to her earthly ego role as queen, she made her sister Ereshkigal rise up from her throne, and instead, Inanna sat on her throne. This deception is looked at and judged by the Anunnaki deities. These 7 judges looked at her. It was the look of death. They spoke to her. It was the speech of anger. And they shouted at her. It was the shout of heavy guilt. The afflicted woman was turned into a corpse, and the corpse was hung on a hook. This ultimate quote-unquote death symbolizes your ego, earth body, and ultimately surrendering and dying to make room for your soul to awaken and your authentic self to rise again. 3 days and nights passed, and her guard did as Inanna instructed and went to the temple to plead for her rescue. 3 out of the 4 deities refused, saying her fate was her fault. But Enki, the 4th judge, had pity and created 2 sexless creatures to go down and appease to Ereshkigal, who was in agony because of the death of her sister. They appealed to her and provided her solace, and refused all of the offerings she provided them, and requested only Inanna's body. They sprinkled her body with food and water of life and revived her. As the 2 creatures carried her up to the overworld, Ereshkigal sent demons to follow her, insisting someone needed to take her place. They tried to take 3 servants of Inanna's, who were also her close friends, and mourned her. But Inanna stopped the demons. Finally, they came upon Dumazid, her husband, who was clothed and adorned lavishly, sitting on her throne and being entertained by slave girls, clearly not mourning her. And Inanna was displeased with this self-centered, disgustingly disloyal and unloving action. So she allowed the demons to take him to the underworld. When Dumazid was taken, his mother, sister, and Inanna mourned. Even though he was acting haughty, she did have compassion for him, just like you and I do. She pleaded with her sister to allow him to be in the underworld for half the year and on earth for the other half, trading with his sister. In the ancient world, this explained the seasons. It is a symbol of your spiritual journey and your brave and vulnerable work of healing from trauma. And even in the shadow work, you will not make all the right choices, and in your journey in healing and in life in general, but you have helped along the way. Those whom you chose to be your life raft out of the dark in order to transform and rise with your toxic ego dead. And you see who truly appreciates and supports you, just as Inanna did when she came back up to the overworld. And in turn, it is easy to let go and to release the self-centered, toxic people in your life. And after you have descended from the depths, you now rise up and embrace your authentic soul self in this avatar body. You are strong, wise, and powerful, and nothing can stop you from shining your unique soul's essence light out into the world. This is the goal of this book, to give you some questions to introspect while not overwhelming you as you heal. I remember just how one question would take me a whole week or a month to process and to look at my inner depths and behavioral patterns to make sense of it all. Then to figure out and know how to shift moving forward. It is a long process, so give yourself time and grace. And as you read, give yourself that time each morning to reread, to answer a question, and to journal about what is coming up in your thoughts, in your dreams, in your interactions, and what your intuition is telling you. This is your time to activate and to reassess what you value, the patterns are repeating that are not serving you, and to level up and own your authentic self, to kill your earthly pain body in order to take responsibility and to look in the mirror, to allow your soul out and to make small changes, to love and be braver and stronger, and shine your soul aura out brighter like a diamond compressed by the molten hot earth. Release the old quote unquote mistakes, which were probably put there by you to experience. Release the old experiences, the past. They are like molten lessons, but now they are gone. Own your power as you transform to change your patterns and don't make the old choices anymore. Break the bonds that bind you to murky mediocrity and shine authentically bright. There's a beautiful image here on the page that I tried to create this book, my second book, much more beautifully graphic. You know, it has transformative symbols throughout. It has drawings. It has places for you to journal. It talks all about human design, which we will dive deeper into in the next episodes. Graphics and images. And this one here on this page, for those of you who are listening and not watching the video, it is an image, a line drawing of a woman with her chest up to the sky. She's standing, her arms back, her chin up to the sky, so her hair falling back behind her like she's has her head turned up to the sky. And out of her chest are flying butterflies. Up to me, this symbolizes freedom, bravery, releasing of other people's crap inside you that you've been holding, resentments, mediocrity, the shadows, the trauma, the responsibilities or accountability that is shifted onto you that aren't yours, the heaviness of the world. All of those are just flying away through the butterflies, transforming. Because a butterfly, actually, I learned through a science podcast, a butterfly just doesn't go in the cocoon and like grow wings. It doesn't change from a caterpillar and just like grow wings like we think. They've done a study where inside the cocoon, that caterpillar, first of all, the cocoon is formed into all the parts of the butterfly. So like it almost creates a mold in this chrysalis. The chrysalis is a mold, just like when you like melt chocolate and you pour it into those little heart molds or those skull molds for Halloween, like it's a mold. And the caterpillar literally dissolves into goo, into mush, and then it reforms and reconstructs into the butterfly, which I think is amazing. So yeah, so if you get this book, the next chapter is what is shadow work and how to attain that joy and how to work through the shadow work. I have some beautiful quotes from Eckhart Tolle, and I have this book on Amazon or Audible. You can listen to it, but I think it's actually really great if you buy the paperback, just due to all of the places that you can take notes and you can highlight and write in, and the graphics are beautiful. So that is the myth of Goddess Inanna. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope that your soul felt some deeper connections to your journey here in this transformation from trauma into joy and bravery, and your transformation into who you truly are here and meant to be. And until next time, take care. I'll see you in the next episode next week.
Are you ready to release negative energy, build confidence, and understand your soul's purpose? If you're an empath seeking to break free from the shadow of toxic relationships, this book is your beacon of hope, and this book is for you. In the epic tale of Inanna, you will find a story of resurrection, strength, and unwavering pursuit of self. Draw inspiration from her journey as you navigate your path towards healing and empowerment. The moon rituals connect with the cycles of the moon and harness its energy. It contains healing meditations to dive into guided meditations to soothe your spirit and amend your wounded heart. There are journal prompts to unearth your innermost thoughts, and human design in detail is demystified. Navigate the intricate web of your human design chart with clarity and confidence. It's time to rewrite your story, reclaim your power, and become truly NARC-proof. Are you ready to embrace your healing journey? Get your copy of Healing with Human Design on Amazon today.